I'm just going to go live, say what I have to say, and if people join, they join. If not, they'll see this on the playback. Like I said before, let me put on my glasses. Like I said before, I am so sorry that we had to witness the indignation that Cassie suffered in real time for everyone to see, like trauma porn, before people really, really believe. But unfortunately, that's the world we live in. I don't know what it is. While some people will come to the internet with support and well wishes and say, you know what, I'm so sorry you went through that, and I believe you. You would not believe the countless people. First of all, people learn to pay attention, read, stop looking at life in 3-second blurbs. Because I cannot tell you the countless people that watched my video and heard me say, I told everyone, everyone, everyone with ears on their face. Police, doctors, lawyers, DAs, witness, my mama. I told everyone, the ambulance, everyone that Puffy shot me. However, because people do such poor listening, or they want information, they want you to spoon feed it to them, they want you to chew it up, digest it, and poop it out for them. We got to stop being like that. We have got to stop. Like literally, I told everyone, and people still came on my post after watching my video saying, well, why you ain't say nothing till now? Why you wait 24 years to say something? What? This can't be real. Like this can't be logical in any way. They will watch the video and hear me say, the doctor who performed the surgery, the emergency surgery on me the night that I was shot 24 years ago, testified in the trial that took place 22 years ago and said, while he was trying to put me under anesthesia to remove the bullet that was aspirating into my lungs, the portion of the bullet, that I said Puffy shot me. People will watch that whole thing and come back and like, so why you wait till now to say something? Po thing. Po little ting ting. First and foremost, I spoke up. I spoke truth to power. Everybody, we're not monolithic. Everybody does not possess the same ability to speak truth to power at the time of their trauma. A lot of people like to say what they shoulda, woulda, coulda do in the midst of a situation. But until you're in that situation, you don't know. You don't know. I know unequivocally that I will speak truth to power and I will say something and I will call attention to anybody attempting to victimize me, which once is enough. I won't be victimized again. Try it if you like it. However, I am going to say something. The Bible says, cry aloud and spare not. I'm going to say something at the time. However, we're not monolithic. Everybody's not cut from the same cloth. Some people are so deep in their trauma, their throat chakra is blocked and they can't speak up. And why do you need to gaslight somebody and say, oh, why didn't you speak up? Why do you need to gaslight somebody for their trauma? Why do you need to not trust a woman that she was violated until you watch the video? Why does this woman have to suffer the indignation of the abuse now being viewed by millions of people? So now people can be like, oh, okay, he really did it. Where's all the guys that were in the comments like, oh, she's a 304, she just want money? Where you at? And who in your family would you sacrifice just because it's a celebrity and let them kick them in the face like that? And let them beat them and drag them? Who? Your mother? Would you let somebody treat your mother like that? Or is it your sister? Which one? Your grandmama? Your aunties? Your daughter? Would you let somebody do your daughter like that? This young lady was so traumatized and so afraid, she waited until this man was in the shower and she gathered whatever little thing she could and made an escape. He was so dastardly. He ran down the hall, disrobed with a towel. Disrobed. And knew what he was going to do, premeditatedly attacked her. That kick to the face was nasty. It was, who does that? Which of you men all the guys, post in the comments how many times you've done that. How many times have you kicked a woman in the face like that? Or how many times have you watched your homeboys do their women like that? Or seen somebody do that to your sister or your mother and just stood and watched and said, I wonder what she did to deserve it. Ladies, post in the comments how many of you have been done like that. Even worse, how many of you have been done like that and no one helped? People stood around, videotaped, didn't say a word, said you deserved it. How is any of that appropriate? I remember some statements released by the attorneys, by him, by all his friends, well, the ones that were speaking up. Oh, he wouldn't do that. He's such a nice guy. He would never treat anyone like that. This doesn't sound like the man I know. One thing about an old dog, he ain't got no time for no new tricks. Old dog gonna do what old dogs do. I feel so horrible for Cassie and anyone who was victimized. I was very triggered by this. I was highly triggered by this video. I was very triggered by this video. And not necessarily, definitely for the reason that you think, but even on a bigger platform. Because I know what it is to be victimized by him and nobody believe you. Or not the powers that be and the people who need to believe you don't. I know what it is. And I feel so sad that we have to witness the trauma, that she has to be re-triggered by this video being everywhere. Like, she has children. Someday they will grow and watch this internet and see their mother being treated like that. Why? Why did we have to rise to that level in order for her to be believed? It's a shame. But unfortunately, some of you would not believe it until you saw this. And I'm sure there are still a few out there finding some type of justification for it. I heard the mother of one of his children say, oh my God, how could the feds raid the house and put guns to my kid's head? Try having someone point the gun and shoot you in your face. Try that. You don't want that reality. No, it was not pleasant seeing them held at gunpoint either. But guess what's even worse? Having that thing go off, pow, pow, and hit you in your face. Oh, that's way worse. Trust me. Way worse. I think a lot of apology is owed to Cassie and all of his victims. And I mean the victims of abuse everywhere in the world, no matter what. If you are in a relationship where you are being abused, by all means, please reach out for help. Say something to someone. Call the hotline, the abuse hotline. Say something to someone. Pass a note. Get help. You never know when that final blow will strike you. You don't want to have to deal with that. And if you are a victim of abuse, you need to make sure that you are insured, and that you designate. If you're going to stay, and I pray that you don't, but whether you are or not, you need to make some life insurance and designate someone you can trust, not your abuser, as the beneficiary to take care of your children if you are a parent. Because that's where it's going to lead. If nothing else, you need to be covered with insurance so that your family, after having to endure the sadness and the unfortunate violence that you were succumb to, that there's something left to take care of your kids. Like, that's as plain as I can make it. I'm a life insurance agent. You have to get out. There are a lot of things that's took me by storm today in the past few days. So this, quote unquote, I took the liberty of writing a few things down. A lot of people say, why didn't she speak up? Well, sometimes when you go through trauma, it's tough to speak up. When that throat chakra gets blocked, sometimes it's hard. But we're happy that she had the freedom to, and I'm so happy that she had the strength to speak up, which led to the toppling of this empire. Praise God for her and the strength that she had to muster. My apologies. The strength that she had to muster to be able to facilitate this level of tear down. If you speak up instantly, it doesn't mean that you're going to get the remedy that you seek. I spoke up instantly, and 24 years later is when people heard me. So whether she spoke up instantly or not, it did not give the justice that we were looking for. Now, I think you should speak up as soon as possible and get away, but people were righteously indignant about that topic, and look at the stark contrast. It took her years to get away and to suffer in silence. She got away, moved on to her peace, and then had the fortitude to come back and speak up. So it's not so much when you do it, it's that you do it. I discussed the trauma. I'm not happy with the fact that we are watching trauma porn and that it's being aired all over. I'm not happy about that. And I've endured that very trauma. I can relate to having your trauma made a spectacle of for the betterment of people's enjoyment, not for justice, but for people to get their enjoyment or to have their 5 minutes of ridicule for, a survivor, whatever it is. I just think as humans, we need to be better and we need to display more humanity towards one another, because I'm not exactly sure what it is you guys are looking for. What I do know is when it hits your doorstep and it hits someone you love, all of a sudden you want the world to be empathetic to you when you didn't give grace or mercy to anyone. And the bigger question is not why didn't you say something immediately, or why you wait till now to say something? The bigger thing is, when will people believe women when they speak up? That's the bigger question. If you are a woman that was abused, or a man, anybody for that matter, if you suffered abuse at the hands of someone and no one believed you, drop it in the comments and let me hear what you have to say. I want to hear what you have to say, and I want to give you the platform to say something, and I want to let you know that I believe you and I stand with your right to speak up. I always tell people, if your lie intersects with my truth, too bad for you. I'm going to speak my truth. There were a lot of statements made. I vehemently deny my client didn't do this, yada, 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 yada. Well, we can clearly see he did it. We see. Well, but we knew it already. But now, live and in living color. Where are those say it with your chest denials now? Where are they? Where are all the naysayers? She just want money. It's a money grab. She just want a payday. Where are all you haters now? And what say you? Did you give her an apology? Did you make a post saying, oh my, I misjudged the situation, I apologize. Of course not, because that's not what y'all do. Because really and truly, I spoke up immediately and I didn't get justice. And she spoke up later, and she did eventually get justice, but not the justice that I'm sure the justice that she would have liked to have received completely. Because everything, oh, excuse me, guys, contrary to belief, everything is not about $1. And I'm only here on YouTube because I made a video advertising that I would go live on TikTok. And wouldn't you know it, those scallywags, yeah, the ones that continue to harass me, have had, I don't know how they blocked my access to live. Doesn't make any sense. Blocked my access. I could not go live. I have I'm going to post the picture in the comments, which shows that I can't go live. For God's sakes, and I've been live before on TikTok. It said it had to verify my age. Nonsense. But anywho, some people get very threatened when I open my mouth and I speak. They get very threatened because I possess the ability to succinctly espouse my point of view without any problem or any deficit. I can speak my mind without a problem and convey my message, and it seems to trigger the daylights out of them. And my mother always said something, the God-fearing wise woman that my mother is. Those of you who know, Miss Gloria. My God, my mother always said, complacency breeds contempt. So, you guys know, especially people of a certain age, and definitely Black people, what would they say? Stay out of grown folks' business. We heard that over and over. Stay out of grown folks' business. My God. One of my favorite lines in Wakanda Forever, is this your king? Why? If Tone Deaf was a person, he would, Christian King Combs, his picture would be in the dictionary. You thought it was wise during a federal investigation to jump in and make a diss track, a very subpar diss track at that, and taunt the feds and brag that y'all bought other mansions and they searched the crib, but y'all had the stuff in the one next door. So you just gonna allocute. You just gonna dry snitch. I had to stop for a second and say, he is admitting guilt. He is admitting that he was fully aware and abreast of what was going on. And he is confirming it in video over telecommunication lines. I said, is he that tone deaf? Are they all that tone deaf? What circus is this we're watching? Is this Barnum Bailey? Is this Universal? Is it the Mexican circus I saw recently? Like, what circus are we watching? How is any of this real? It almost feels so ridiculous that I couldn't possibly be real. I don't get it. But that's what happens when children don't stay out of grown folks' business. And I know you're grown, but you still are children to the people that's having the issue. Like, it ever occurred to you why your father ain't never make his own diss track to 50 Cent? Ask yourself why.